Welcome to a very special edition of the DadLands podcast. I'm just jumping into it. I don't really need to intro you. You might be the biggest comic, I think, right now. You guys would know him from his Netflix specials, coming in hot, live from Seattle, and the soon-to-be-released live in the Philippines. Mr. Joe Coy is here.
Thank you, man.
Dude, pretty crazy. I reached out to you to go, hey, you want to come do the podcast? And you're like, hey, how about now?
Yeah.
And I go, well, how about tomorrow? And you go, yeah, I'm gone again.
Yeah.
You literally are in town for like 48 hours.
That's it.
And you're still going to pick up your son at 3 p.m.
Have to. That's the dad shit I was talking about.
That's what you said.
It's that moment. It's it's only 30 minutes, but it's like I remember when my mom dropped me off at preschool. Like, I still remember that.
You do?
Yeah, I remember it. Like, I was so depressed because I knew I was going to see her all day, and I knew I was going to see my dad all day. And but I just remember that moment. I remember her leaving and her driving off, and I couldn't wait for her to come back and pick me up. I know there's a long story, but I remember when she picked me up how happy I was, right? Mm-hmm. Long story short, my mom and dad divorced, right? So I never got those opportunities after that. Like literally like when I was like 9, 10, 11, like it was done. I didn't have my dad in my life anymore. So I don't ever want my son to ever miss that moment.
We've talked about this before,
yeah.
Because you grew up in a broken home. You did Father Time,
yeah,
and that was more about your upbringing and stuff. And I remember I think it put the drive into who you are.
Yeah, I just want to be like, I want my son to treasure. I know it's a small moment that I remember, but for some reason I really remember that moment. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember the Nilla wafers. I remember all that. I remember
my daughter's been doing that. Like,
really?
I took her to school, and if I just drop her off in the car, she jumps out and runs in. But if I walk her to the classroom and stay with her for like a couple minutes, even yesterday, I was the playground monitor. Yeah. And it's so weird to even say those words, playground monitor, which all it was me, like carrying kids to the nurse. It was like Thunderdome.
Yeah, and like every other kid.
12 kids went to the nurse.
You're kidding me.
No, it was like rollerball. Like, every 2 seconds, one kid would tug on me and go like, hey, that kid's down. And I'd go to him, and another kid was down.
Yeah, they just kept falling down.
It was Thunderdome.
Yeah,
it was rough. And then, I didn't know. Other kids came up to me, and they were like, they would show me their lunch and go, hey, did I eat enough? Can I go play now?
That's funny.
And I'm like, you're not my kid. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. Starve.
Dude, do what you got to do.
Throw it in the trash.
Throw it in the trash.
Yeah, I don't care. Where's Hannah? That's all I care about.
And then, of course, with my kid, I was like, no, you got to eat the rest of the same.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Eat your vegetables. Do you do the vegetable thing?
We do. Yes, of course we do. But here's what's weird. I have 2 kids, and they won't
Never in my life did I force vegetables down my son's throat. Not once.
And how did it
he
turn out
hated
for
it,
him?
and I go, good. You should. I hated it, too.
I loved
I didn't like vegetables until I was old, when I knew I needed it. What the fuck am I? Why am I going to force something I hate on you? He's like, Dad, I hate broccoli. I was like, I fucking hate it too.
Me too, dude. I hate broccoli, and you know what? You're right.
But the garlic's good. Well, then let's eat garlic.
Let's have a cupcake. You want to have a cupcake?
What the fuck are we eating broccoli for? When we could just have the garlic. Isn't that the flavor we enjoy? What does this matter that it's
sprinkled on? Does he have diabetes at the age of 17? What happened?
No, this kid can eat a whole thing of they're called God, what is it called? It's the hot Takis. Hot Takis.
I never heard of a hot Taki.
You know what? It's the kids potato. It's not a chip, but it's like a Dorito on crack. It's really, really hot.
Sure.
The flavoring is called Fuego. Isn't that fire? This
yeah,
that's the flavoring.
Exactly fire.
That's the flavoring. Fuego. Fire. That's not even a fucking flavor.
They kind of gave it the Spanish name to give it a little flair. Like
Fuego.
But if they just called it meltdown.
Mm-hmm.
That's the flavor.
Yeah.
And he eats a whole box of that.
The whole box. Who eats a box? How old are you, Jamie?
Wait a minute.
We're not that old. And then he ate a box of
Did he open
Takis.
a tin? Did he eat a whole tin of it?
A tin? What, am I with my grandmother now?
Let me ask you.
Did you have a tin of shortbread cookies?
Can he eat a satchel? Would he eat a whole
satchel of oats? What is he, a horse? Jesus, Jamie. You're not that old.
Here's why it's
15 years ago, Jamie, you were a young man. What the fuck
Actually,
happened?
15 years ago, I was still pretty old. Listen to me. I went to Costco. The reason I say box is because we buy everything at Costco. So
Yeah.
we have these giant, like, when we say, like, oh, here's Oreos, we have a box of mini bags of Oreos.
Yeah, that's true.
But yes, I am, yes.
Yes.
How, did you take a school tintype of your child from the 1850s?
My son kills those Fuego Takis, and that's his vegetable. That's his dairy. That's his. How
healthy is he, though?
He's not that healthy.
Okay.
Yeah. He gets sick a lot.
He
gets
does?
sick a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. He's always
Does
got
he
a
not eat
cold.
any vegetables?
Mucus. No. You know what he calls them?
Literally none.
You know what he calls it? Green. He says green. Yeah, he'll call it green. He'll when he orders food at a restaurant, he goes, "Please no green, just no green." He'll say that all the time.
That's like from the book Pinkalicious, where the girl only eats pink cupcakes and she turns pink, and then the doctor's prescription. This is his prescription. You need to eat green.
Oh, he
Food.
does.
That's all he says is green. And so she goes, whatever's green. So she's eating relish and Brussels sprouts or whatever to kind of reset her body.
Yeah.
And so apparently green is a healthy color.
Yeah. So is pink.
Yeah, I guess not really. Pink cupcakes.
Cupcakes.
Do you like? Here's what's funny. I see your Instagram, and you are doing. I mean, you're doing cooking lessons. You're not busy enough. You're home for 36 hours, and you're like, you know what I'm gonna do on my 4 hours off? I'm gonna make a video about cooking.
Yeah.
And teach people Tagalog.
Yeah, Tagalog. Yeah.
Tagalog.
Yeah, but you can say Tagalog. I love it.
Well, you know why? Because now I'm selling Girl Scout cookies, and I have Tagalongs.
I will buy. How many do you have?
Boxes of them.
I'll buy all 4 boxes. Whatever.
I know
the full crate. I swear. I don't want to see your kid
Will you buy a
in
whole
front
satchel?
of Safeway.
Will you buy a
You're
satchel
fucking
of-
Jamie Kaler. All right? You're my fucking friend, Jamie Kaler. The one thing I want you to do is pawn off cookies in front of Ralph's. That's fucking depressing, bro. I will buy
It's already
them.
been scheduled. It's
No.
on the 22nd
We're not doing
of
that
Feb-
shit. No.
It's called
I'm
boothing.
buying all of them.
It's called boothing.
And
by
then
the way.
you and your daughter go swing. Just go swing
But
at the
it's
park.
not for me. It's a lesson for her
Oh,
to teach her.
Fuck a lesson. Fuck a lesson. We work so hard that they don't need lessons, man. Generational wealth. That's what you give your kid. You give your kid this home, this 2-story fucking thing that you're not gonna be able to climb in 10 years.
Why didn't my father?
You know, everyone
act
knows.
like
you know, you have an addition, right? Yeah. Do your fans know that you're building an addition that's gonna be it's gonna be
I'm
2
building
stories.
onto the house. Yes.
10 years, you're not gonna be able to climb that.
No.
10 years, you're not gonna be able to climb.
I'll get
so
one
you
of those
give it to
little,
the kids.
those little things. The
The
stairlift.
That's what we do. We do it for our kids, man.
Dude, is that why you're busting your ass for your kids?
Yes.
Come on.
100%.
I saw the car you just pulled up
Everything-
in. You like some things.
Here's the only thing, and I will say this to everyone out there right now: your car you don't own. Okay, so if you lease it or whatever it is that you're doing, you don't own it. After 5 years, you're gonna give it up. I don't own that car. It's a lease, and I do that all the time because I go through cars like that.
I just go through cars.
I do. I don't care. It's a car. It's nothing. If it's not that, I'm Ubering. So I'm never gonna buy my son a car. Like I'm
You just lease it.
But the houses are all paid for.
Yeah.
That's what That's what you brag about.
You invest
Don't
in
brag about
houses.
your car, and don't brag about a place that you're renting. Like if you own a home, you own property. That's what I'm giving.
Well,
my
pretty much
son.
every show you do now is just a new home.
Yes,
You're doing the forum
twice.
twice.
Yeah.
Like
26,000 people.
26,000.
Yeah.
Times 2 or is it 13,000?
It's 13,000 each,
13,000. And I say that like, oh, I'm sorry, it's only 13,000.
Yeah.
It wasn't 26,000 times. Not many comics have sold out the Ha Ha Cafe, let alone, which, by the way, is a wonderful club.
Oh, beautiful club.
But, I mean, do you just sit back and go like, oh, my God, I can't believe I'm selling this out. This is insane.
It's nuts.
It's nuts.
I did this thing called AOL. I forgot what the name of the show, but they asked me what's next, and this is before Live from Seattle came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know, if Kevin Hart can set the bar and do arenas, then he's basically telling everyone can do arenas. He's not saying that only he can do arenas.
I love that you have that thought process. Mine's the opposite of like, wow, Kevin Hart did arenas. I'm going to go catch a movie this
No.
afternoon. That's how I'm not looking for generational wealth.
You should be looking. It's out there. Find it.
I know it is. Oh, I know it is.
It's always been my my motivation. And it's like if Kevin's doing it, then I can do it. If Eddie Murphy did it, I can do it.
So what's next after? I mean,
Stadium.
to do.
And I'll say it right here. Yeah.
What's the?
I already plotted 2 places where we're gonna do it.
All right.
And I'm gonna do it.
Can you say them or no?
No.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
it's
Keep it close.
it's
Keep
it's
it
in
close.
me, but I put it out there. Yeah, I will do it.
I mean, you were just in the Philippines. That must have been cool. Kind
Yeah.
of your
It was crazy to go home.
heritage.
It was crazy, man.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point of that special, because it's like, like Jamie, you live here in America, and you got a lot of inspirations that look like you, and when I was coming up in 81,
I got
82,
too many inspirations that
you
look
have
like
too
me.
many. That
And
look
they
like
also,
you.
for some reason, the people who look like me think they're the most supreme people around, which always catches. You're like,
Yeah.
Have you not seen LeBron James?
Yeah.
There's nothing more supreme than LeBron
Yeah,
James. Like
nothing
if he was
more.
like, I'm a supremacist, I
Yeah.
would go like, well, of course you are.
Yeah, of course you are.
Whatever genetic makeup you
Yeah.
have is exactly what we should all aspire to.
Exactly.
But it's always some dude who's got like 4 teeth who's like, I got to keep this pure. Really? You are.
You got to keep what pure?
What are you purifying?
Yeah.
You honestly, this puddle needs to be muddy at
Yes,
this point.
yes.
This is a disaster. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
The
I see
whole
what you're saying.
point,
Like,
the
I
whole
grew up
point of
here.
it is, well, it's just like you have a lot of inspiration, and I'm not saying that it's not like that now in 2020. It's a lot better now. You can go to TV and you could be a kid that's half white, half Asian, or you can be a full Vietnamese kid and have inspiration. Have a Korean kid that goes, oh, I love Ken Jeong. You know what I mean? Those are inspirational. But in 1981, I wanted to be a comedian. I had nothing to pull from, especially with
Who did you have?
I didn't have any. There was 3 channels at that time. You know what I mean?
Wow, who's old now, Satchel Boy?
Yeah. And, I fell in love with Eddie Murphy. That was my inspiration. But, I always wanted to have something that could inspire other kids that look like me, or just have something to be like, yo, I can be a comedian. Look, this kid did it. So that's the whole point of me
You
going
have
back to the
definitely
Philippines.
inspired. We talked about this last time I saw you, and I was like, dude, there's a whole generation of kids who are coming up.
Thank you,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. It's pretty amazing.
I had to bring it there, and it's also for my mom too. You know what I mean? Like, to be able to leave her country and come here and start a family. It's something for me to go back and show my mom, like, yo,
Yeah.
look what you did for me. I'm giving back.
I mean, how emotional was it when you were there?
I
saw
cried.
the videos. I cried watching the videos. It was emotional, yeah.
Yeah, I cried, man. I cried on stage. I couldn't believe it happened, dude. It was completely sold out.
I
It was
know.
nuts. It was nuts.
Now,
to even say that.
had you done even shows there before?
I did a couple shows there before, but it was smaller,
Little
you know what I
smaller
mean?
places.
Yeah. And then when I went back after this one, it was just full blown arena.
That's nuts, man.
Sold out in like a minute or something like that. It was nuts.
It must be. Here's the great, the hardest thing when you're first starting stand up. Like sometimes it's not even about your act. Like you never worry. You get to a point where you're like, oh, the act's gonna be great. Is anybody gonna show up?
Yeah.
I remember doing clubs back in the day and like looking out and being like, oh my god, is anyone even coming out tonight? It must feel so great to just go, how's it gonna go tonight, dude? Show's sold out. I mean, that to me was always more pressure than the actual performance. Like the performance was the most fun ever for me. It was more about, is there a crowd? And once you're like, yeah, just sold out 2 shows at the Forum, you're like, yeah, it's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be good. Now you're at a point where you have to keep generating new material, right? Which is hard.
Yeah, it is. I guess I enjoy it though. Like I'll go up and at least crowd work and sneak new material in that.
We did that show in the Pasadena, and it was, dude. Here's the other thing, Dennis, my producer. I'll tell you. He goes, hey, come open the show, and I go to open. You have a DJ on stage.
Yeah.
There's just. It's a show.
Yeah.
There's a reason you sell out the Forum. The thing's this crazy show. And then you got up there with packed, and you riffed. You had a bunch of ideas and stuff, but you riffed and just brought it all together. Do you do that even in the stadium shows?
Yeah, I do that.
They kind of expect that now.
Yeah.
And then do you have to also close with like Gaffigan will do 5 minutes at the end of the Hot Pockets.
No, I'll never do
He has
it.
a signature bit that he closes. Foxworthy was the same.
Yeah. No, I'll never do it.
You don't have any old bits.
No, I have old bits at the Yale, but I won't do it.
You don't.
No.
Each show's a new. Here we go.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. Dude.
Yeah, I don't. I'm
much harder.
I'm a firm believer in that. Like I don't like doing old jokes.
Yeah.
The element of surprise is gone. It's like, you know what I'm going to say.
But do people
like,
ever
it's not
give
even
you
fun
grief?
for me to tell it.
It's like going to see Van Morrison, and you're like, man, he didn't play one song I knew. What a dick.
Yeah, but you know it's different when it's comedy. It's way
Yeah.
different. It's not like music.
No.
Like I would hate if I went to go see, like, you know, Eddie's talking about going on tour. Well, he is going on tour pretty soon, and I would hate it if he did a whole hour and it was just delirious.
Lemonade.
Yeah,
And you're like,
right? I'd be so
did
mad.
he just do a honeymooners bit?
Yeah.
Ralph. Hey,
Yeah.
Norton.
Yeah.
But
You'd be like,
same outfit.
Yeah.
He should wear the same. That would be great.
But
That'd be
he's
awesome.
gonna crush. I can't wait to see
He
it.
is going to crush. But here's the other thing is, you know, you look at his act from years ago and the political correctness nowadays, he couldn't do half of those jokes. So
I think that's without a question in anything in life.
but
it's like,
are his new jokes can all of a sudden be these sanitized jokes, or are people going to have to go?
first of all, his jokes aren't going to be.
have you seen his new set at
Nope,
all?
I haven't seen anything. But I know that whenever he's on a panel of some kind of TV show, like if he's on Kimmel or whatever, whenever he sits and he talks, it's a routine.
It's blindingly funny.
It's
I thought the
blindingly
same
funny.
thing.
It's written perfectly, and he's just talking.
He's just talking.
So
He
when
talks
he's
in
on,
bits.
it's amazing.
I thought the same thing.
It's amazing. He
Even
can
his
talk
old
about. He
interviews.
can talk even when he does an impersonation. I'm like, that's the best impersonation of Tracy Morgan I've ever seen.
I said the same thing.
Right?
Yeah.
It is the best because it's not just the voice. It's he becomes whatever it is that he's doing. So
And you can see he's also like, at first he doesn't seem like he wants to even be part of that conversation. And all of a sudden you can see the light click on his head.
And
you go-
it's over.
And it goes into a bit.
Yep.
And you're like, God dang, that guy's talented.
yeah.
I
Did,
interviewed
did
him
I
on the
tell you?
radio.
Did I tell you? I
Did you hang with him?
saw him? No, I went to him when I was 15.
Oh, when you went and saw that.
I
That
went
was
to
your-
Raw. I went to
Have
Raw.
you talked to him since you've kind of been doing stadiums
Nope,
and stuff? You
no.
will. And you'll go, dude, I saw you at Raw. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did say that at a Coffee Bean. I never met him. Like
You
like
ran
he
into him at a
knows me.
Coffee Bean?
It was like 12. It was like 12 years ago. It was like me and Chris D'Elia used to hang out on Coldwater and Ventura, the Coffee Bean
Sure.
there. And, I used to take Chris D'Elia on the road.
No.
You know that? Yeah,
I
he used
did
to
not
open.
know
He used to
that.
open for me.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I
He
didn't know
opened
that.
for me for like a year and a half or so.
Yeah.
And I used to take him on the road, and then on our off days, we would just be at the Coffee Bean on Coldwater and Ventura.
Yeah.
And Eddie was notorious for coming every day, but every time I would miss him, and Chris would be like, "Oh, saw him again, dude. It was cool." I said hi. I'm like, "What?" And then literally one day he walked in, and Chris was like, "You got to go walk up to him and just say hi." And I did exactly what you said. I went to Raw and all right, coffee
I beat
and
myself.
milk skim. What? Bye. And then sat down. It was the worst. But that's my idol, man.
That's so funny. Yeah. It's crazy.
That's
when
my idol.
And was he cool?
He was very sweet.
But he was
very
like,
sweet.
I'm
He went,
trying to get
"Oh
coffee."
yeah."
Oh.
He went like this. "Oh yeah, nice man, thank you." And then he turned around. And then I sat down.
I had to. So when I was on My Boys, they made me host the red carpet for the SAG Awards,
Oh, nice.
and he was for Dreamgirls. He got nominated,
Oh,
and so he
yeah.
comes down. So there's a clip of me, and they go, Eddie Murphy's coming down. You got to interview him. And I go, and I wasn't starstruck the whole time until Eddie Murphy walked up,
Exactly.
and then I totally was like, ah.
Yeah.
And so I started talking to him, and I was like, so I'm still a big fan of Party All the Time. Is there a chance a new album might be coming out or
That's
something?
funny.
And he was like, he was rolling.
Really?
And you could see he kind of fought it, and then he jumped into a bit. He's like, wouldn't it be great if I did a new album? And he started like riffing a song, and I was like, yes! But talking to him, and then they said, throw back. And I was like, no, I'm talking to Eddie Murphy. And he's like, you got to throw it back, man. You got to throw it back. And I didn't throw
Oh.
it back, and it was funny. But yeah, the
Oh,
whole
that's
time I
great.
was like, oh my God, it's Eddie Murphy.
That's the best.
He's a
the
guy.
best.
He is going to tour. But what's he? Where will he go?
Any comic that says they're not inspired by that guy is lying. He walks into any room and it's lights out. I was watching. It's so funny because I felt like a lot of people were in denial for a long time, but I feel like now it's starting to be like really show because now there's excitement behind it. But I was watching Comedians in Cars with Eddie,
great.
and just the way Jerry was acting, it was literally how I was acting at the Coffee Bean. Like, here's Jerry Seinfeld, the greatest. You know what I mean? And he's literally like,
He's a fan.
he's fanning.
Everybody's
He
a
was
fan.
completely fanning. Like, please, like when Eddie goes, about the awards. Like, there was an award that Jerry didn't receive that he didn't want to get or something like that. He didn't go and accept it. And he goes, because this is my award right now. You just being in this car is my award. I won as a comedian right now. And he did. And he's right. So yeah, that's a beautiful thing, man. Eddie Murphy is my everything. He's my Michael Jordan.
He saved SNL. You know how he's a movie star of epic proportions, and he's made some terrible movies, and yet nobody has ever been like, boy, that guy should stop making movies. They just go, well, it's not his fault. He's Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
He's blindingly funny. Why can't these other people make a good movie with him?
I think he
Like,
made.
he's bulletproof.
You know, a lot of people forget he has 11 kids.
He does.
And that's like, you know, when he didn't have kids, he was making a lot of movies with "fuck you" and "eat my dick" in the dialogue. And then when his kids got a little bit older to understand what he did for a living and could watch it, it's like, yeah, you're gonna do Doolittle, and you're gonna do Pluto, whatever it is. You know, just a lot of the kid movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can't even name Daddy Daycare and. You know, the Clumps, like
the one with the-
that.
No, the
that
Clumps
was,
is great.
Oh, the Clumps is
The
genius.
Clumps is genius.
Yeah, all of them. Just any of those kids, like that was the part that they give him a lot of grief about. But it's like he also had a lot of kids.
But
It's like asking you to go do a movie, you know, and be in
With two
yeah
kids.
with the two kids that
He
you have
does
right
have
now
11
who
kids.
know who you are now and
But you
can
know what I
watch
mean? Where
you.
he's iconic. It doesn't matter.
And your
if
daughter's
he
like,
has-
"Why is Daddy naked again? Why is Daddy saying suck his dick to that guy again, Mama?" Daddy never says suck his dick. Mommy, what's a dick and why does he want to suck it? Like,
Now I really
Now
have to make
you-
a film called "Suck My
yeah,
Dick."
suck my dick
good
with
point,
Jamie
though.
Kaler.
You pick better projects.
It's like a
when
vampire.
You pick better projects when your kids. I'm sorry, it is hot as fuck in
Yeah,
here.
hot.
Jesus
It is. I'm
Christ.
sweating too, dude. Go put the AC on. It's in the other
No,
room.
no, it's all good.
I'm the
good.
same, dude. I'm sweating my ass off.
That was funny though.
But
I think that's why he
But
chose to do
okay,
those kind of movies.
Sure.
Yeah.
Some of them just didn't hit.
And now all their kids are older, and look what he's doing now. He's doing
But you
those
gotta
old
admit,
Eddie
he's
style movies.
He's just bulletproof because anytime he's not in a funny movie, nobody blames him because we all know he's a genius.
Oh, genius.
And so if the movie didn't come out right, that's not his fault.
No, not at all.
So
No.
yeah. 11 kids. 11.
You know what I did
kids.
this past weekend?
What'd you do?
I did the DAR, Constitution Hall, which is where he shot Delirious. And
Did you mention it while you were on stage?
of course, I
Of course you
cried.
did.
I cried on stage.
You just cry every night on stage? now?
Well, that was no. I've done it
Is that your
twice.
closer?
You ass.
Is that your closer?
You suck my dick,
and
Jamie.
and they play like, I'm going to build a mountain. And then
Yeah.
Joe goes, I love you people.
Yeah. No, no. Come on, man. That was my inspiration. Like, literally, like if you watch the intro to Delirious, where he walks through that door with it's a leather door with this little window, and I've always remembered that as a kid, like where he walked.
And you walked
onto-
through the door.
I walked through that damn
And you
door,
sobbed
bro.
like a little girl.
Bro, I came
Bro!
out. I came out swinging on that show. I was so nervous that I was gonna bomb that night. I was like, I can't bomb tonight. Out of all the nights, this has got to be the night.
When's the last? Although I will tell you, theaters are hard.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't even imagine what a sports arena is.
Yeah,
I've
you gotta
opened for
you gotta
people in front of,
maintain
like,
your
12,000
energy.
people.
You gotta maintain your energy really, really high. There's two things that annoy me. It's like when you hit that cusp of like 4,000, 5,000 people, then they want these IMAGs put in, right? And the IMAGs are the big giant screens on the side of the stage so that the people in the back can see. But it's a distraction
Right.
because the people that are sitting underneath the IMAGs are literally looking at the IMAGs the whole show. And then it distracts you because every time it switches cameras, it's a different light. So it distracts you. So I have this strict policy. If it's under 4,000, there's no IMAGs. So it's more pressure on me that I maintain my energy
Right.
at the top, because the minute you bring it down, the crowd's gonna let you know. Like, they're gonna get upset that they can't see you. They're gonna get mad. So you gotta keep that energy going. That was a long story. I'm sorry.
No, that's exactly what. Because I mean, a lot of people who listen to this have done stand up, but to go to that level, it is hard because it's not music where people can just see from a mile away and see the band and the light show.
Yeah.
It's a dude with a microphone.
Yeah.
And it's still 13,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
I
You should
did
just
it-
get a
I did-
wireless and just go out and walk through the crowd. And
That's
just
so
go,
funny. I did the Blaisdell, and that was 10,000, and we put the stage in the middle in the round, and I told them no IMAGs on that, and they were like, you better bring that energy, and I had to keep that energy.
Well,
through the roof
especially,
on that
it's
one.
like the first 15 minutes, they're all like losing their minds. But all of a sudden, it's like, hey, settle in.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do? 75 or something?
I'll do about close to 2 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a long time.
I know, man.
You know,
I know.
And you have the DJ on stage.
No, the DJ's off stage.
He's off stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the round, yeah. You should do one with me, Jamie. I would love
totally
for you to
down.
come.
I've done I did the blue collar guys, so I did like 13,000. Those guys were doing like giant 13,000,
that's
and I
beautiful.
remember everyone was like, just do your bits, man. Just do your bits, because you can't really talk to a guy in the front row because nobody else can hear anything else anybody's saying. And you could also, I heard my jokes back to me like with a 3-second delay.
Really?
Like certain nights, you'd be like, the sound system was a mess, and I'd be like, oh my god, this is a disaster. You're like, a disaster. You'd hear.
That's awful.
hard,
Where
yeah.
was this at?
I'm not
I thought
gonna-
this was the blue collar guys.
right?
What, they
It
have blue
was.
collar workers there?
Maybe, I don't know.
What kind of arenas are they? Were you playing churches, cathedrals?
That was a rodeo, but it's not.
It was
important.
a rodeo?
No, I'm joking. There was a dude with a megaphone. It was a carnival.
You know what? But how many years ago was that, Jamie?
I was back
Now
in
it's
the
fucking
the
cold in
18
here. Can you turn off the AC?
Get us more coffee. So for those who are listening to this insanity, we did New Faces together
Yes.
a few years back with
Yes.
like Natasha Leggero. We were talking
Yep.
about Jay Larson.
Yes.
There was quite a crew.
Dan Cummings.
Dan Cummins.
God, I can't remember everyone.
W. Kamau Bell.
Yeah.
A bunch of people who ended up going on to really big success stuff. It was a
Yeah.
good year and stuff. And I just remember that year. And then it was funny because I didn't see you much because I kind of stayed in town more. I was doing more acting stuff, and you were just road dog.
Yeah.
It.
Yeah.
Remember, I would run into you in the airport, and you'd have like 4 suitcases of merch,
Yep.
email lists. So it's always like, I would always tell people, I go, nobody's worked harder for that generational wealth than you have. I mean, you used to do like,
Thank
what, 50
you.
weeks a year?
I would do all of them, yeah.
Oh, like 52.
I would literally do all of them, yeah. There was a point where, Halloween I would take off,
But
and I
let's
would
talk
take
about that with having a
Christmas off.
child.
That's the hard part. That's why I get sad when I see like
My Little
what you're doing
Girls.
with your girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I missed that.
You missed that.
I didn't come. I started to slow down when my son was 6, so I missed all that.
You
missed
were gone
preschool.
52 weeks a year.
Yeah, I was.
Would you
literally
pop
doing
into
it.
town like for a Monday?
Yeah,
again?
and go get them, play Legos for about
Yeah.
the whole night,
Right.
and then and this is when you were doing Thursdays, and I had
So
to be
now,
on Wednesday.
now he knows you're making up for it. Now he knows.
now,
Dad,
yeah.
Dad, whatever I need, Dad's gonna buy.
Yeah.
So he's basically.
But you got to meet him, Jamie. He's not like
I
that.
met him
He's not spoiled.
at Junior Ramen.
Yeah.
I ran into you guys at a
That's
at a
right.
ramen stop, and
Yeah.
he seems like a good kid, but he's a trust fund kid now. Isn't
All
it
right.
weird?
All right, but he's not.
Isn't it weird?
He doesn't spend money like because I have the expensive taste. I mean, he does too.
You
but
do, don't you?
I do. It's bad. It's bad.
Well, it's not bad because
Yeah.
you're earning a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I try to earn as much as I need, and I just don't have any expensive taste. Like
Yeah.
this is a flannel shirt from
Yeah,
like
yeah.
1980
From Bloomingdale's.
I
You
mean,
fucking
maybe.
liar. You fucking liar. You're such a liar,
right.
dude. No one listens to anything you say. Look, as he
All right, it's a John
he-
Varvatos shirt. What can I tell you?
Yeah. And then he's got his Tacoma FD on. You know what I mean?
Adding
Just
I
to
did
just
that
that.
room.
I
just
did
a
that
little,
because I had a poofy hairdo.
bro. First of all, you have hair. Okay, so go fuck yourself.
Not much. It's coming. It's fade away.
By the way, you crush that show. And
See,
I
he's the
love-
nicest person
I
on earth.
love that show, man. I can't get enough of that show.
Tacoma.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Brilliant, man.
The Lemmy and Heffernan. I will tell you, I think
they're geniuses.
I
man.
think they are.
Modern day geniuses.
I would
They
go.
really are.
That is far from what I was going to say. That is actually
Well,
the
then you
opposite.
need, for job security reasons, you might want to
They
fucking
are
follow my
the
lead.
geniuses. No, here's why.
They
Here's what I think
are.
they're doing because I just went and saw like a trailer for the next season.
Yeah.
They are. You know how everyone's being politically correct, and the pendulum eventually swings back.
Yeah.
They are leading the pendulum.
Oh, that's
like
great.
the new show, you're like, wow, good.
Yeah.
So it's almost like an Animal House style of humor that you're like, can we say that stuff anymore?
Yeah.
They're kind of bringing it back. A
Oh,
little bit.
good.
Because they have the Super Trooper jokes.
Yeah, I love it, man.
They're the best.
I really can't get enough of that show.
Yeah.
And then
Me
you
neither.
when you went on, I was like, what a perfect fit, man. You kill it, man.
You're very sweet. They hired me based solely on the size of my Irish head, is what they told me.
Stop it.
They said
That
they
sounds
said
like
for
Lemmy.
They said that was exactly Lemmy. They said for the chief of police, we just wanted a big Irish skull, and so we thought of you. And I go, I'm in.
How do you know Steve? Like,
Yeah, I knew Steve and Kevin. We
Oh,
had
that's
done
dope.
some stuff together before. Right?
Oh man, you were great.
Isn't it funny when
I
you're
mean,
here
you
long
are
enough?
great.
Like you literally know it's everybody. Like
Yeah.
you must go out and go, oh yeah, oh hey. But it is weird because it is a solo craft. Like it's, when you go on the road, which you did for all those years, you probably ran into people in the airport, and Dalia was with you, but you
Yeah.
bring an opener. But
Yeah.
you're in these different worlds, and then you show up for the festival. Like you went to Montreal, and you were Comic of the Year.
Oh man, thank you.
How crazy was that?
Yeah, I cried.
Yeah?
Nah, I just wanted to do that. Yeah, comedy comes in threes,
Dude,
man.
do you
that was
not, I cried.
But I
every-
did cry. I cried hard. I cried. I roasted.
for you.
I roasted everyone in the front row, though. That was my favorite part. My favorite part was being able to be with a room full of
Kevin Hart.
comedians. They were all there.
Haddish. They're all there.
Haddish was there. Dion Cole was there.
Yeah.
Chappelle was there.
How'd you roast
Hannah
Chappelle?
Gatsby. Mark Maron was there. I mean, everyone was there.
Maron's easy to roast.
Gina was there. Gina Yashari. Do I
Sure.
say her name right? But I love her. And but just everyone was there, and to be able to go up and roast was my favorite. Just to show my hey,
chops.
look, I got chops.
Yeah.
And I remember when at the end, Dion just hugged me. That's when we became close friends. Is when at that night Dion hugged me. It was like, you're funny as shit.
Yeah,
Like,
you
that
are.
was fucking funny. Because I ripped. Were you there?
No.
Oh, you should have seen what Dion was wearing.
Everyone was
It-
there.
Everybody but you, Jamie,
Yeah,
was
yeah.
there. No, I was
It
home
was-
with my 2 kids is what I
Oh,
was.
yeah,
Those
yeah,
days
yeah.
are over, man.
Yeah, those days are over.
Yeah, those days are
Done.
they're gone.
Done.
I mean, they were good. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy. I have to go to my daughter's. This is why I asked you to move it up
Yeah.
to 12:30 was because my daughter's starting an art class after school today at 2.
Yeah.
And she refuses to do it. She's like, I signed you up for art class. She goes, I'm not doing art. I go,
Oh my God.
I go, you love art. She goes, I do love art, but none of my friends are doing that class. And so I go, so what? You'll make new friends. She goes, no, I'm not doing that class. So now I have to go to the class and kind of drag her in
Okay.
and see if she'll accept it.
Can I tell you my art story?
Yes, please.
Okay, here's a dad story. You ready? You're gonna love this one.
Okay.
I can't remember what age this was, so let's just say about 6. He was 6 or 7. Okay, let's say about 6 or 7. I get a call from the teacher. I need to talk to you about your son. He refuses to do any of the art projects. Okay? Go to the class. She hands me a stack of unfinished art projects from his desk. Some of them were crumpled because he crammed them in the back of the desk. And I'm like, Joe, what's going on? She's like, all we want him to do is participate and finish these art projects. Just finish them. I look at Joe. He's like, I don't want to do it. I'm like, Joe, you have to do it. I don't want to do it. I go, I promise I'll get it done by tomorrow. I take all the art stuff home, and we literally sit there from 3 until about midnight, me yelling at him, just color. Just color. Like, why don't you want to color? Literally, I'm yelling at this kid about color. He goes, because it's dumb. It's dumb, Dad. Color, Joe. You need 3 colors on this bit. By the way, it was his name. It was like Joseph, and he had to color it 3 times. Each letter had to do. Color it. What's another color? I don't know. This one. I go, Joe, that's an ugly color. Pick a different color. He picks it, now we're coloring. And he's like, look at Jamie. Angry art. Just like chunks of.
Like Pollock. Get
Chan-
Jackson Pollock going.
Yeah.
Like just throwing paint around.
Yeah, just chunks of crayon. Just, you know what I mean? Gathering wax. You can make this a candle. And I'm like, dude, it literally took like 9 hours for him to finish. I'm like, was it that hard? Pissed. Bring him to school, hand it to him, hand it to the teacher. Done. It's right. It's all done. All done. You ready for this? This is the part that's going to make you cry, Jamie. Did I tell you the story?
No,
Oh, man. Here we go.
never.
So about 4 years later, no, about 3 years, 7, so 10. What's 10? Like, what grade is that? I don't know. 10. What is 10? Fourth. So about 4th grade.
Maybe 4th.
Okay, 4th grade, right? 4th grade. Oh, man. You're going to love this. We find out he's colorblind. I'm not joking. His uncle is colorblind, and we do a Google test where they have a bunch of circles, and I go, Joe, can you see that number in that circle? And he goes, what number? I'm like, this motherfucker's colorblind. I go, Joe, you're colorblind. And this is what he says to me, Jamie. He goes, that's why I didn't want to color that day. Because every time I would color something, the kids would make fun of me. That's a blue pig, Joe. And I felt like the worst fucking dad ever.
Here's my favorite right from the get-go. Earlier, he's talking about vegetables, and the kid won't eat vegetables. He's like, don't worry about that. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And he goes to school, and they go, hey, go tell those guys to be quiet, will you? And then you go, but coloring, that's where you put your foot down.
Yeah, I put my foot down.
So vegetables,
Because
you're
it
like...
was an assignment. You have to do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's the
But the
easiest
vegetables, that's irrelevant.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah, fuck your vegetables. You know what I mean? Just eat chocolate.
We had one of my teachers in like 7th grade was colorblind. We didn't know it until all of a sudden nothing he wore matched.
Yeah.
And we found out because he was divorced and the wife had put all of his clothes together every morning. And as soon as she left, he didn't know how to pair his clothes.
No way.
And so he would come in, and then that was the story.
That was his story.
Like none of his clothes matched, and all of a sudden some of the other people were like, "Yeah, he just got divorced. He's colorblind. He can't put it together."
That's great.
How old was he? So he was in 4th grade.
Yeah, I think
he
he was
never
like,
knew he was colorblind till 4th grade.
Didn't know. And I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry.
You didn't see the blue pig and go, "Oh, look how creative!"
No, because
he is.
every
He's
kid
using
colors
colors."
a pig blue. Every kid does that, but he took it to heart because kids were laughing. I'm like, yeah, what are you doing?
It's
A
funny
green
he remembered-
zebra.
He remembered that episode. It's like, that's why I didn't want to color.
Yeah.
Well,
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Crazy about, but here's what's funny. He probably had this amazing color scheme because he didn't. It was just a random.
He had no idea.
Throwing them together.
And then it started
Kids are
getting
horrible.
worse and worse. Like now it's really bad. It's
Is it
so,
really?
Yeah.
He can't see color at all.
He'll be like, "Where's my orange bag?" I'm like, "Oh fuck." Oh fuck, man. It's not orange. It's not orange. What is it? Oh fuck. It's green, Joe. It's green. I thought it was orange. Oh shit.
That would be like if he was. Like he gets interviewed by the police as an eyewitness.
Yeah.
So you saw the car.
yeah.
I did see the car.
Yeah.
It was green.
It was green.
Some dude's going to jail for like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
I wasn't even at Target.
Do you have a green car? I do.
Yes, I
That's
do.
orange. I said he saw you.
Yeah, he said he saw that green car at Target. That's the one, Dad. And it was driven by that yellow man. What?
Dude,
That's a
fucking
black
American.
man.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Kids are. My daughter loved avocados, and all of a sudden, one day, out of nowhere, she goes, "We serve her avocado." And she goes, "I don't eat those anymore." And I go, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "My friend said that's baby food." So she listened to some other kid who was like, and now she seriously will not eat avocados. The same way
Really?
she won't go to arts class because her friends aren't going. It's like, how do you wean them off of the peer pressure to go? Course, chart your own course, man.
Yeah, man.
But we can't. They just won't listen to me,
No.
and I'm going. I've learned the hard way. Everything I've ever done, and you're not learning.
Mm-hmm. This is Hannah, right? Hannah's
6,
how old? 6?
6, first
Guess what
grade.
happens?
Oh Jesus!
Guess what happens? I'm an old, because my son's older.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna
you
I'm gonna
started
tell
way
you
earlier.
something. I'm going to tell you something. You ready?
Yeah.
This is your first set of kids, right?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
I'm like,
it's not your
and
second
I'm,
set,
and I'm
right?
a dinosaur. No, honestly, it could be a third set.
Yeah,
Who
this
knows?
should be your third
It
set,
should.
right?
Everyone from my high school are
Yeah.
grandparents.
Yeah.
I'm in a terrible place, Joe.
You ready for this?
Yeah. What do you got?
You're going to be really sad when I tell you this.
All right.
When she turns 12, it's done.
It's over.
No, I'm serious.
No, I've
It's
heard.
done.
My next door neighbor has a 14-year-old. He's like, she walks in the house, goes in her room, smashes the door shut. She didn't even talk to me. He's like, "Where's my little girl that loved me?" And she's gone.
It's gone. My son, right when he turned 12, it was done. I was like, really?
And that's a boy.
literally done.
I think girls are,
Girls grow up quicker.
it gets worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So get ready.
I mean,
And she's cute.
the
And she's got a
only-
personality.
The only good thing is that at my age, I honestly might not be around by then. Like, I mean, that's the great news.
You're not even that old.
Trust me. So,
How old were you at New Faces?
I was a new face at like 40.
No way.
I was the oldest new face. That was the running gag. Yeah. I was the oldest new face.
Really?
I think it might be in historic. At some point, I think they were like, yeah, he's. I was a Navy lieutenant. I moved to Hollywood at like 30.
You were a Navy lieutenant?
That's why I went to the Philippines.
Wow.
I partied hard in the Philippines.
You were handsome.
No, I tore the shit.
Yeah. You were handsome. You were handsome, man.
You know what's funny? Can I tell you something?
A lot of
This
redheaded
is the
Filipinos,
only-
aren't there?
there's so we went to Manila.
Yeah.
And it was only one other guy and I, and it was
Yeah.
the one time we I always tried to get away from the battle. Like we went with a battle group with like 3,000 dudes hitting the port, and it was mayhem. But I went with another guy, and we went into Manila, and I remember being on like public transport, and I was like 12 inches taller than anybody else,
Yeah.
and the only person with light colored hair.
Yeah.
And people were like touching me.
Yeah,
and
like
my
you were a
hair.
ghost.
Yeah. I was powder. They were,
Oh my God.
they're like, yes, I was a shooting star. I had a great time in Manila, though, man.
Yeah.
It was a fun time. No sex.
And how long were you out there for? I mean, how long were you in the military for?
5 years, and I did. I was in the Philippines on the way over to the Indian Ocean for like 2 weeks, and then probably 2 weeks on the way back. So I was probably there for like a month.
That's so
Had a
cool,
great time.
man. Good
Yeah,
for
it's
you.
really really fun. Now it's not a port anymore. It's not our.
So you went to college and then went in as a
I
lieutenant?
went in as an officer.
Did
And
you go
then-
to University of the Navy?
the University of the Navy, which, by the way, is what it should be called.
Annapolis, Maryland. Yeah.
What is it called?
The Naval Academy.
Naval Academy.
Oh,
But,
fuck.
but University of Navy.
They don't write
actually
that on
way
sweatshirts, do they?
better.
Do they write that on sweatshirts? No. They write
The
Navy.
United States Naval Academy.
I like Navy.
Jesus.
What is that? Is that the time?
No. Yeah, that's time right there.
What was that sound
People
though?
are calling us now. As
Oh,
soon as I
nice.
called a couple friends and I was like, "Hey, Joe's coming," and people were like, "You're lucky there's not like 50 people there." I think you almost sold out my house.
All right.
You might have had to do a second show later today.
Enough.
At 4 a.m.
Another pod in the garage.
Yes, it's like the old vaudeville was like 7 shows in a day. So I got out late and I followed this, but then it's so funny because I did not love the road, and I remember talking to you about it, and you were like, "I love the road, dude."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did love it.
You loved it. You
I
still
did.
love it.
I
I'm
still do.
amazed at the energy you have where you you're still you're doing the lessons, the language lessons,
Yeah.
once a week.
Yeah.
And you have a cooking thing. It's
Staying relevant, I think. Promoting the culture.
at some point you go, I won. I can just is
Yeah.
there any coast at all in you?
I don't. I get uneasy when I'm.
Do you?
Yeah.
You have that
I gotta keep going.
Zuckerberg at some point you tell it to Zuckerberg and you're like, "Why, dude, you won. Game's over."
Yeah.
But the reason he made it that far is because he had that. Crazy,
Yeah.
That's how you
I'm-
sell out the forum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That work ethic.
I'm starting an unmotivational speech where I tell people just to do the bare minimum plus one.
So dumb.
Just to do if you do the bare minimum, you'll get fired. But if you do it plus one, where you're like just a nice guy,
Yeah,
bring
yeah.
a box of donuts, you don't get fired. That guy doesn't get fired.
It's always a box.
It's just a box.
It's always a box with you.
I like boxes. I do. They
Hey.
stack bags don't stack.
They
Boxes
don't
are
stack.
everything.
Dude, the one thing that I don't like is when someone says, we don't think it's ready we're not ready to do that yet. And I'm like, no, I think we should do it. So I go do it, even though they told me not to. So like the first special live from Seattle, I shot that. I paid for that. And then this forum one, I'm shooting it again. I'm gonna pay for it.
Are you really?
Yeah. You're
You're smart because you'll own the whole thing.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm not gonna wait for someone to be like, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm like, why am I gonna wait, man? If I wait, then we're
You
always
probably-
gonna just be waiting.
Did you already you probably pre-sold it?
No, I can care less.
You don't need to. Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna archive it. I'll have it. I got it. So I know.
And it's
that.
all new material.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's something in there that's very special, and it has to be in LA because it's about my stepdad. So it has to be shot in Los Angeles. And what a better place than the Forum. And he's a Laker fan, so I'm gonna try my hardest to get him there. He's a little ill now, so it's harder to
They're in
move
Nevada,
him.
right?
He's in Vegas,
He's in
yeah.
Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, but I want him to see it because it's all about him. The whole closing routine is about him.
Well, I don't want you to blow any of the gold from that, but I mean, you talked about being from a broken marriage, but did you grow up with your stepdad most of your life?
Yeah, he came into my life when I was 14, 15. Yeah, so he's the shit. I love that guy.
Okay.
Army, retired. 2 Purple Hearts, 2 Bronze Stars, a CIB badge. I mean, the guy.
So he's done some.
He had some.
shit.
He's disciplined, man. He was the guy.
Really?
He was drunk sober.
Is that right?
Yeah, man. He was drunk sober, man.
What is that? does that even mean?
I'm drunk, but I can still drive you to work if you want me to. Like,
Functional.
yeah, he's functional.
Functional.
Yeah,
I knew
he
guys
was
like
just
that.
that guy, man. He could polish off a whole bottle of Jack, and he's just like still just the coolest dude, man.
I still love, like, I'm starting to come to the, because I used to be that way of like, oh my God, that's amazing. And now I'm like, that's horrible.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
horrible.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't it be horrible if you're like, we're going to have a couple drinks and get drunk? I actually need 57 drinks to even catch a buzz. Do you have $4,000? Because it's going to take about $4,000 to get me drunk.
So true.
I'm the opposite. I'm like, people used to give me grief and go, man, you got drunk after like 2 beers. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, economic.
Yeah, economically
I'm
smart.
efficient. I'm efficient.
Yeah, let's just get to it.
To it.
Yeah, man.
I always see, you see people who are like Andre the Giant, they'd be like, oh, yeah, he could drink like 3 cases of beer and 2 cases of wine. And then you'd be like, that sucks.
Yeah,
dude.
that's depressing.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
A shot of Jameson. I'm the life of the party.
Is that you?
Yeah.
I feel like you're the life of party for minute one. Were you ever, this is a good question, because I wonder, you always, even at like New Faces, I was a nervous wreck, man.
Were you?
Oh my God!
I was
yeah.
pissed.
People sometimes go, "You."
I was pissed.
I think I came off like a dick at times, but and I think some people do where it's like a like I was nervous.
Yeah.
I remember you did the first set, and you remember the whole first show.
Yeah.
Ate it.
Yeah.
Nobody did well.
No one did well.
And you changed your whole set.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think I have any other jokes. Like this, I go, I wish I had 7 minutes. Do you have any for me?
Yeah.
I need some jokes. And so
I was mad because they kept putting me up number 1 first.
Lead with
did
your
they do that
best.
on both shows?
All of them. No, they gave me the second one, and they let me go in the middle. I'm talking about, you remember the warm-up, too?
Yeah.
They made me go up first on the warm-up, and then we did 2 new faces. They made me go up first on the first show, and I'm like, bro. And then the second show, they let me go up fourth.
Do you remember like those days when you thought like where you were in the lineup? Like, oh my God, is that a good spot? I don't want to go last. I don't want to go first. I don't want to, maybe fourth.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, honestly, now when I go to a show, I immediately go, hey, can I go first?
Do you?
Yes, like a show in town where you're just doing like 15 minutes in a show somewhere. I go, I want to go right up because I want to go home.
Wow.
I want to go home and like hang with the kids and be up in the morning.
That's very sweet.
I don't want to.
No,
like
give me.
sometimes
I
they'll go,
want
like,
the
you're the
sweet
closer,
spot.
and I go, I'm not. No, I'll go right up. I don't care. I get the same out of it. Yeah. Like, yeah.
I was mad because I knew that was like, I was working at Nordstrom Rack. I was working at Borders Books.
You were. That's
Yeah.
right.
My son was 1. And
That's
and
why
like,
you were
this was the
motivated.
land of, this was supposed to be our opportunity. And I just felt like, yo, we're all trying to make it, man. Like, we all deserve a shot. And I feel like I was getting, because I didn't have representation. Everyone had like a
You
good
didn't?
agency. I didn't have an agent. I didn't have
Did you get scooped
my
up right
manager
after
was
that?
Jamie Masada.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, Jamie Masada was my manager. He
Did
wasn't
somebody
there.
scoop you up right after New Faces?
Yeah. I got my first agent was right when I walked off that stage.
They came and got you.
Heidi came and got me,
Yeah.
and I signed with William Morris. And then Ross and Bob walked up to me and said, "You got the Tonight Show." Like right when I walked off
Oh
stage.
my God, dude, that's
Yeah.
insane.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I did the Tonight Show about 3 months after that, and then I was able to finally never work again.
Right.
Isn't that crazy? Because everyone told me like, "Oh, you get the Tonight Show, nothing's gonna happen." Fuck yeah, it did. Everything happened. My life changed after
Back
the
then, the
Show.
Tonight Show, that might have been the end of like the Tonight Show changing people's lives. Because nowadays it really doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't.
move the. Was that
one
Leno
did.
still?
Leno, dude, I got off stage and I had to work the next day at Nordstrom Rack. I think I told you the story. And then I didn't know how many people watched the Tonight Show until the next day at Nordstrom Rack. And it was every other woman was like, "You were so funny last night. Can I get this in a size 7?"
Yeah. You crushed.
And you're like, God damn it, I'm still selling shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then some guy that owned a cell phone company. It was called Amp Mobile back then. He was the first one to stream content, like live content on phones before iPhone, before anybody. And he signed me to be the spokesperson because of that set. And it was over with. I went on tour with him. I was the face. I did commercials for him.
That's insane.
Yeah,
I
it was
didn't know
crazy.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Then I got on a tour, and then
You never stopped touring.
never
after that.
stopped, yeah.
I was the opposite. I lived in a rent-controlled apartment by the beach. I had a bank full of money.
Did you really? Oh, from the
I had
University of Navy.
commercials. Yes, I had the University of
University
Navy
of Navy.
money.
Naval money.
No, I had done 1 million commercials
Yeah,
and guest stars.
you were crushing the commercials.
had
I remember that. I was
tons
like,
of
dude, I
money.
was in New Faces with that guy,
Yeah.
and you got a TV show.
And I was on My Boys. Yeah,
Yep, I remember that.
That was right after New Faces. I was
got
like
that
2
right
months
away?
after and then did my boys for like the next 5 years. And that's why I also didn't do the road at all because I was in town working.
Unbelievable.
But it would have been great to go out and do the road because the problem is I would do the roads intermittently, but you take a year or two off, and they're like, "Yeah, we filled those weekends."
Yeah,
There's only
yeah.
52 weekends a year, and so if you didn't kind of get out and do it, then you kind of became. But I never loved the road anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a love-hate, man. There's a lot of hate, man.
Is there a lot of hate?
St. Charles was one of those gigs where I was just like so depressed. So depressed.
Why?
Like to this day, I still remember those days at St. Charles. Just depressing.
To Chicago?
It's
What's
it's outside of Chicago and it's in a
Zany's.
barn.
Zany St. Charles.
Yeah.
I've done that place.
I love the lady that does it, that books it, but I
She's
would
in
literally.
Vegas now. Cindy,
Oh, is she?
Cindy Nelson.
I love her, man.
She books Brad Garrett.
I love
If
Cindy.
next time you're in Vegas,
I
say hi to her.
am. I'm going to take
She's
her
a
out to
sweetheart.
eat and hug her and
To
kiss
your
her.
restaurant.
Yeah. And because she changed my life, you know what I mean? She gave me, Zanies were the first one to.
They were the first
give
one
me,
to headline
to
me.
give me the big. Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, they were the first ones to give me like nice big money and give me my own weeks. So yeah, I love her. But that depressing times with St. Charles. I
St.
hated
Charles,
it.
yeah.
It was depressing.
You had to bounce around from different, and if it was the middle of winter and you were out at St. Charles, it was.
It's bad. It's bad.
it
There's
was-
nothing out there.
There's nothing out there.
There's nothing. I remember I would fall asleep.
I remember the Atlanta Punchline in like some weird strip mall where you're like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Not as weird as St. Charles.
St. Charles is in the middle of nowhere.
It's in a barn, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's in a
It's in
barn.
the middle of a field.
I remember that.
And then, but what depressed me the most is I would try my hardest to fall asleep during the day, just to hurry up and get to the night to go up on stage. And I would sleep, and I would think, oh, okay, I slept for about 5 hours. I'd wake up like 40 minutes. Fuck me. That felt like a 4-hour nap.
You still had to do press then.
Yeah, I still had to
Do
do
you
press.
still, like, you don't do press now?
I do press. No matter. It's so funny. I was talking to Brendan Schaub.
It's kind of a tease, though, to go, hey, I'm going to be at the Forum tonight. Oh, never mind. They're both sold out. Sorry. Catch me next time.
Okay, so this is my business model. You ready?
Okay.
So I was with I did Brendan Schaub's podcast or something like that, and he was like, yeah, I don't like to do press because I go in and usually my pod sells it out, and I'm like, all right, let me tell you why I do press because I'm sold out.
Yeah.
And I've always done it. Like I would do improvs like, and I do 17 shows in a row.
And they're all sold out.
They're all sold out.
All sold out.
They'll be sold out 6 months in advance. And then, but I would still go do press. And he was like, why do you do that? I'm like, because when you say that you don't want to do press is basically saying that everybody in that town knows who you are. And they don't. They don't know you.
Right.
So you need to go do press. It's fun to tell everybody, yeah, I'm sold out, but I will come back. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then those people that go, oh, this guy's sold out? What? Who is that guy? And look him up.
And then they come next time.
Yeah,
And
you
then
got
you sell out
and you're
27
also acting
shows.
like everyone knows that you have a Netflix special. Not everyone knows you have a Netflix special. So you're gonna use that. You use that opportunity for that. Like, yeah, my forum is sold out, but I'm still gonna do a mad media run, and I'm gonna tell everybody, yeah, it's sold out. But next time I come back, make sure you get your tickets early. Oh, by the way, I got another Netflix special coming out. Like, that's what you use those opportunities for. That's what keeps the brand alive. The minute you stop doing that, then everyone stops. You're slowly gonna lose your audience, man.
I guess. It's a lot of work, man.
It is a lot of
It's
work.
a lot of work.
But that's what we do.
No, it's not what I know, Joe.
That's what Joe does.
That's like, yeah, when you say that's what I do.
Yeah.
You've always done that, though.
You got to do it, Jamie.
Yeah.
Do it for the kids.
Now,
Generational
With
wealth.
here's why. Okay, so
Almond milk. That's not free, kids.
it's not actually. It's very.
We had one milk in our fridge,
pricier.
and it was called milk.
Well, now I'm on.
And
oat
that
milk.
went in your coffee, that went in your cereal, and that went in your fucking stomach. In Jamie's house, he has options.
We used to
different
make,
milks.
We made pudding with the milk. We did
Yeah.
everything with that milk. Yeah, now it's oat milk along the way.
Oat milk.
But you had a 1-year-old.
Yeah.
I was in a rent-controlled apartment on the beach in Santa Monica with a bank full of money.
And you had that show.
And I had a show. I never thought I was going to have kids.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden I had kids, and I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Now I have to. If I didn't have those kids, I would be like playing golf right now.
Oh,
at
you'd be
Lakeside Country
such a
Club.
loser.
I'd be.
You would be such a loser. You would be the worst
I would.
human.
I would be horrible.
Yeah.
And we know some of them. I know a couple.
Yeah,
of them.
I know a couple of
I know
them.
a couple of them.
I
and
know
they're
a couple of bros at
Yeah.
45.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, dude, let's
Yeah,
go
it
watch
gets-
the game.
But honestly,
dude, I can't
why
be with
is
you
there
anymore.
That stigma to the guy who's like, no, I just never wanted to have kids. Why is it bad that he's all of a sudden the creeper?
I think we all need those guys, right?
You get weird.
I mean, is it just weird because they're banging 22-year-olds?
Oh, why is he a creeper?
Yeah, why is he a creeper?
Oh, I misunderstood your question. Yeah, because he is a creep. That's creepy. That's creepy.
Wait,
but then again,
if you
I date nothing but young girls too, though. So is that creepy? How old is your wife?
I'm creepy.
Right? Your wife was really young, right?
She's young, yeah.
How old was your wife?
There's a gap, 16 years.
Yeah, 16. That's me too. I've never dated any girl
over
15 years younger than me.
15 years old.
Younger
closer than that.
Like every girl that I always dated was always like 15 years or 10 years. Yeah, I've never dated a girl like the same age. Like, ugh. Wait, you know what this is?
Now you're an old.
You know about problems? Wait,
He just doesn't want
what?
issues.
What? You have
get, the
goals
more
and
issues.
dreams? Get away from me. Only old people have those. Give me
I just want some girl who's up to party.
yeah, someone that likes to.
I don't want her to have hopes and dreams.
Yeah,
What's the problem with your? So you have a girlfriend now, and she's what, 15 years younger?
Yeah, she's 15 years. Yeah. Wait, hold on.
Here's the problem.
Oh,
though.
God, yeah.
What's the
Way
problem?
younger.
What's the problem that's coming? I'm going to tell you your problem.
Oh boy.
You boy.
Oh boy.
She's going to want to have kids.
Oh boy.
Are you
Is that what happened with you?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was like, "Well, listen," she caught me on a weird day, and I was like, "All right," and here we are.
Best decision you ever made.
It was the best decision I ever
God
made.
damn it.
It was the worst decision she's ever made.
I'm going to say this.
I think my
hey,
wife would say it's a bad
No
decision.
disrespect to your youngest. I fucking love that Hannah.
She's pretty great.
God damn it, dude. I show that video to people. Like
I
that
love
I'm around.
your comments make me laugh so hard.
Yeah, dude. I do it all the time. Like if I'm at a restaurant, I'll show like the waitress. If I'm at
my friend's kid. Here's
I
my friend's
swear.
kid.
She's great.
There was this one where she came off the swing, and I think I watched that 15 times. Just the way she lands
slow-mo jump?
and then points at the camera. Is
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
dude, she's something.
She is.
Just take her out of school, get her an agent. What the fuck is
Yeah,
school?
nothing's ever gone wrong with young kids in the acting business.
We got a good dad next to see. There's a difference
Does your
between
son
young
wanna
kids.
act?
There's a difference between young kids where the parents weren't really involved and don't know the business, and then there's people like you who are grounded, been in the business, and can really watch your daughter.
I would.
You know what I
be,
mean?
Yeah.
There's a real big difference. You know what I mean? Like look at all those kids that had parents. They weren't really like
Lindsay Lohan.
they weren't Hollywood parents, man.
No.
They were living vicariously through their kids.
Yeah.
You know the right decision to make.
Oh,
for
I'd be
your kid.
I'd be a great stage.
Oh, you'd be the best.
Well,
you
she
already
thought
are.
I almost punched some guy. So I did take her to an audition one
Almost
time.
punched some
This
guy.
this director. So I have an agent, a casting director is a friend of mine. They said, "Hey, would you bring Hannah in for this?" I was like, "Sure, I'll do it." So I bring her in, and there's a crazy woman who obviously has no kids who has to hold my child in the audition or whatever, and so. She's shaking. Is she gonna be okay? I go, not if you have that attitude. No, she's gonna be terrible. I'm gonna tell you right now. So of course, sure enough, I walk in. I give the baby to the girl. She's like 18 months at this point, and the woman's like trying to do her lines, but you can tell she's like a nervous wreck. And my daughter starts to cry, and then the director goes, "Get the kid out of there!" And I almost went over the table. I said, "She's 18 months. Talk to the woman. She's the lunatic in the room. What is wrong with you? Of course she's going to cry. She's 18 months old."
Yeah.
Fucking snap. And that was the last audition. I was like, I'm not.
Yeah, I can't do that.
She's offer only.
I had a pilot, and the director asked, let's just let your son, instead of us auditioning, let's just have your son do this. And it wasn't my son's fault. The sign kept falling off of the wall because they weren't allowed to drill it into the wall. So they kept using gummy tape, and it kept falling off during the shoot. So like the fourth time, my son was like, "I don't want to do this anymore," and started crying.
How old was he at the time?
He was like 5 or 4.
Oh, I thought this was like last week when he was like 18.
No, yeah, he's 18.
I don't want to do
I
this.
don't want to do this anymore. And then I started like balling up, and I'm like, "Hey, you guys need to find another kid, or let's rewrite this scene because I can't watch my son cry. I
I
can't.
can't either, dude.
It's the hardest
I'm
thing.
like sobbing about
Yeah,
it.
isn't that weird that we have that feeling?
Yeah, I'm like the biggest crybaby now.
Oh, dude, when my son gets hurt, I hurt so bad.
Me too.
Okay,
So
I'm going to
weird.
tell you a story
All
real
right.
quick. Oh, I hope we don't get in trouble for this one. No, we're not. Me and the mommy are best friends, right? So I moved her right next to me.
I know.
Okay, so she lives right next to me, and he's fucking up, right? He's got friends at the house when I'm on the road. The kid, he knows we have security cameras. He knows I can look whenever I want. So I see it, call his mom. She goes to the house. She's pissed, right? Because he's not answering the phone. He's having like a little party with his friends. Well, I'm not there, and he knows if something happens to these kids, one of the parents can sue me, take everything that we got. We got a pool there. Let's just jump in the pool and let's break our necks. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, dude, I hate saying this. So the door opens. He comes out, and she pops him. Yeah. Pop. What the fuck are you doing? I'm watching this. I'm watching this through the security camera, and I'm like, oh, why did you hit him? I was like, it hurt me so bad to witness that. Even though as mad as I was, you know what I mean? And it's a mom. But it's the mom. You know
was
what I mean?
Was it open hand or was it closed fist?
Oh, no. It was a closed fist, but the bat hit his face. Of course it was open hand. The fuck is wrong with you, Jamie? That's the stupidest question. It was a closed fist, and she had brass knuckles on. You dick! It said her name. It's indented backwards on his forehead.
And then she tased him, and he went down.
And then she tased him.
You bad kids!
Yeah.
Ow. She open hand slapped him in the face.
Yeah, she popped him in the face.
Honestly, for a young man, that might even hurt more emotionally.
Yeah.
An open hand slap, I always find, is more humiliating than just a straight punch in the face. And you started crying.
Because I was watching it through the security camera. And I was
save
like,
the footage?
Oh, my God. It hurt me, man. It hurt.
Have you ever hit him?
No. Well, when he was a kid, I used to pop his butt all the time.
Pop his butt?
Yeah. You don't spank? No? Is that bad now? Can I
I
go to jail for this?
Yeah. I have, just spanked their bottom on the diaper.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were in an airport, and they were kicking each other in the thing, and I just lost my mind. And then I looked around like, did anyone film that? Am I going to jail? Oh, Jesus, what happened?
Dude, what is wrong with that, man? You ever see a lion discipline the cub? Dude, they grab it by the back of the neck with their fucking fangs and fling it. Like, it's discipline. Like, dude, my mom popped me all the time. Do I hate my mom? No. There's a difference between discipline and beating the shit out of your kid. Complete difference. Like, my mom popped me, and I knew I was wrong. You know what I mean? Like, my mom smacked me in front of a cop. And 100% the cop didn't.
He was like, yeah.
He didn't arrest my mom. Like, he could. Today you do that, you get arrested.
Smack you in the face?
Across the fucking face. Not pop. Full on Rocky Balboa knockout smack.
She's a tough ass, isn't she?
She smacked me so because I was riding that fucking motorcycle. My best friend had a YZ 82 stroke, and I was blaring down the street. No lights, and the cop pulled me over, and my mom always told me, you're gonna die on that motorcycle. And when I walked up with that cop, she didn't even hesitate. She was like, I told you. Bop.
Parenting.
And then grabbed me, closed the door on the cop. I think the cop was like, yeah, that's good. All right, he's good.
Look how hard he works now.
Yeah.
He starts calling her, and he goes, hey, I got another one. Can I bring him by?
Yeah.
Like, he just starts every juvenile delinquent he picks up, he goes, let's go.
Hey, I got another one.
We're going over to Joe's mother.
I'm going to send my son to his mom
And
so he can work as hard as
She just opens the door across the
Hey,
face.
Mrs. Herbert, I got the Harrison boy over here.
Now get out there and
Ride his bike in the mall.
Sorry, I'm booked for the whole afternoon. I got a whole bunch of kids. I gotta slap him.
But I don't know. I have no
love
problem
when you say
with
the
that.
word pop. Like, a pop is, you can get away with a pop.
You're allowed to pop.
You can
man.
pop.
You're not allowed to beat.
No.
I'm not taking a belt out.
No. You're taking a belt out and hitting them with the buckle, especially the buckle that has the horse on it that says champion 1994 lasso champ.
Woo-hoo! All right, listen, I'm going to let you go here. Here was the greatest thing about having you on is that I really didn't have to do a thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's really, hey, go tell those guys to stop hammering for a sec, will you? I had a bunch of notes I wrote because you have charities.
Yeah.
Do you want to mention a charity that you do?
I mean, we raise money for that, but I've been doing a lot of personal charities now too, so I don't really like to promote them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not one of those guys that like to say who I'm giving my money to.
Oh, that you, yeah.
I don't like doing that.
No.
So and I do it a lot. So
Well, I have 2 kids, and
I'm buying the fucking cookies,
Yeah.
Jamie.
Yeah.
I'm buying all of them.
Charity.
That's not for the daughter. It's just I don't see you in front of Ralph's, for God's sake.
I literally sold all your cookies.
Yeah.
But
She's gonna be
shouldn't
so
she
happy.
learn that she should
No,
have to,
absolutely not. Absolutely not. She's good. Learn what?
The lesson
When
is you
she's
have good
35
friends.
and still
Learn
living in my
what?
house, I'm sending her over to you.
Good.
And you'll be like, hey, here's a couple hundred.
When
Don't worry
she's
about it.
35, she has to live here because you're gonna be 88.
She's going to be changing my diapers by then.
Yes. You're gonna be 86 when she's 35, right?
Yes, I'm pretty close,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
close.
yeah. Come on, Dad.
I'll be
Eat
long
the
gone
soft
by then.
eggs.
I'll be long gone by then. I don't know.
Now, will
This
you
is
stop?
garbage. This is garbage.
No,
All
it's
right.
not. Let's talk.
No, there's nothing to talk about. You teach
Yeah, Tagalog.
Tagalog.
Yeah, that's
coming in
fun.
hot, left Seattle. How you write? You obviously just riff and then you just play back and do
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
Dude, your social
You
media
hit all the bullet
is
points.
insane. How do you?
Your social media is
do you have
on
a-
point.
Do you have a team of social media people?
No, it's just me. I
It's
mean, I have a
crazy,
videographer and I have a guy that posts my Facebook. He takes care of my Facebook and YouTube.
I mean, your comment.
But my IG is 100%
Do
me.
you sleep like 30 minutes a night?
Yes.
Do you not sleep
I don't sleep
much
at all. Yeah.
at all?
And I engage as much as I can.
You do. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I see you connecting with everybody
Yeah.
out there.
Yours is
That's,
amazing.
that's why you're here, because I posted some podcast and you're like, when am I doing the podcast? I'm like, you insane? Whenever you want to do, get down the hill.
Yeah.
Just stumble down the hill. Dude, you I didn't realize you won Showtime at the Apollo.
Can you believe that?
No, that's insane.
You know how I
Is
got
there any-
Showtime at the
no.
Apollo?
Is that a good, yeah, tell that.
All right, this is how I did it. So man, there's so many series how I got to the Apollo, but okay, so Def Jam on the Road. I befriended a guy by the name of Honest John. He's a comedian, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I met him through BET's Comic View, which is another story. I'll tell you how I got that. So we became friends on this thing called the Black College Comedy Tour. And
You were on the Black College Comedy Tour.
yeah, I was on that, like in the early 90s. And I was opening for everyone. You know, when I used to have a theater in Vegas, I used to bring up, I used to bring JB Smooth, Michael Blackson, like all these cats that I was
really?
opening for
Yeah.
on the Black College circuit. And before they had Curb and all that, this is way
Right.
back. And so then Honest John was like, hey, I'm on the Def Comedy Jam tour, and I want you to meet Bob Sumner, who was the guy that actually created Def Jam with Russell. And I goes, when he meets you, he's going to put you on. I'm like, all right, cool. So we go, he comes to town. It's in Vegas. It's Def Jam. And I walk backstage, and Bob Sumner's there with Honest John. And Bob goes, all right, man, I don't know who you are. I never seen you, but Honest John says you're funny. So look, you're going to walk underneath the curtain. We're going to keep the curtain closed in front of you. We're going to leave the house lights on because we're still sitting people. And don't say welcome to Def Jam, and don't say enjoy Def Jam when you say goodnight. Just say your name, do your routine, and then say goodnight, and then walk back underneath the curtain. We good? I'm like, yeah, we good. He's like, all right, cool. And then he walked backstage. He walked out. I was like, and then when he left, my sister Rowena was there, and her husband now, Mark, was there, and Honest John. I was like, I go, dude, that fucking sucks. Like I'm gonna eat it. Like I can't believe it. And he's like, yeah, I know, man, but it's a chance. That's how Honest John talks. Yeah, just do it, man. Like, at least you're getting to go up, man. Hopefully he'll see you. I'll make sure when you go out there, I'll bring him back out here. I'm like, all right, whatever. It fucking sucks. I don't really want to go out there. And then when I was saying that, the stage manager walked up and he goes, hey, man, we'll turn off the lights. He goes, we're at 60% now, so they'll be able to see the seats. So we'll turn off the lights. That's pretty fucked up. We're not going to leave the house lights on. I go, all right, thanks. So he turned the house lights down. No intro. No fucking intro.
Just cold.
Bro, cold as shit, man. The two stagehands are holding the curtain. They open it up. They hand me a cordless, and I walk, literally crawl under like I just broke into the joint. I'm like, hey, guys, I'm Joe Coy. I'm just rapid fire, man. Good night. They're going fucking crazy. I crawl back through. My sister's hugging me, like, oh my God, that was so good. And then Honest John was there, Bob Sumner, and Rudy Rush. Rudy Rush was the host of the Apollo at the time, and he was going to be the host for that show that night. And he looked at me, and then he looked at Bob Sumner, and he goes, who the fuck is this guy? And then Bob goes, oh, that's Honest John's friend, man. He goes, well, what the fuck, man? Like, I got to follow that shit? He goes, why didn't you put him on in the middle of the fucking show, Bob? What the fuck, man? And he goes, well, I didn't know he was going to be that funny. He was like, well, what the fuck, dude? And then he looked at me, he goes, you ever watch the Apollo? I go, yes. He goes, I'm putting you on the Apollo. I'll have my manager call you in a week. They called me in a week, and they flew me out for the Apollo.
That's
awesome.
the
That's so
craziest story.
Yeah.
That could have gone. It could have gone south.
It could have been real tough.
Yeah.
It was so bad. And you know what's funny is I bought this thing. It was a 3-chip digital camera. I paid like $2,000 for it. Back then, there's 1997 or whatever.
Yeah, cameras were like $57,000.
Oh yeah.
So
So you get this 3-chip digital camera, like it was a Sony, and I wanted to record it. You know what I mean? And I remember telling Mark, I go, don't turn that dial too far left because sometimes it goes to another mode and you can't record. And he goes, oh, I got it. And I remember performing. And I'm looking at him, and he's holding it. He's still in character, like he's cameraman, like he's holding it. But I can tell there's no red dot. I'm like, this fucker's not even looking at anything. That
So there's no
shit
film
is
of it.
off. Yeah, it was nothing. I was so fucking mad. I go, dude. He goes, I thought I was recording. I was like, no, man. I knew you weren't recording it. So yeah, he didn't get it. But
Which sucks too because in your back of your head you're trying to tell jokes, but you can see it. And you're like,
I was looking, and I'm just like, the red light wasn't blinking.
and
I
your
was like,
brain's just going to the next joke.
Yeah.
You're like, you honestly want to stop. Your
Yeah.
brain goes, stop. Just tell him, I can't. I only have 7 minutes.
that's so crazy. Those stories are so crazy to even tell. The way I got BET was crazy, and the way I got God, just everything that happened. Like it was always like.
How'd
Like
you get
me-
Montreal?
Montreal, I auditioned at Laugh Factory, but I auditioned
And
like
Masada was your guy. He got
no,
you.
he didn't get me in.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, they passed on me 3 times, like 3 years in a row or 2
Yeah.
years in a row.
Yeah, me too. I got
and then
a couple
finally
passes. And then
finally the third one. But the way I got BET's Comic U was crazy. You want to hear that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I'm working at the dolphin habitat, right? I'm a tour guide, right? And this is while I'm check this out.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a tour guide at
guide.
a dolphin habitat.
Yeah.
I'm from the shoe salesman guy. I was selling shoes or I was working at a dolphin
Yeah,
habitat. I'm one of
working
them.
at a dolphin habitat doing a tour, right? And one of the tour guides goes, "Hey, BET's Comic View is here at the Country Star. Country Star was like the Hard Rock for country singers, so it had all this memorabilia, and it was right off of the side of the strip, right where the Bellagio sits now. That's where it was." And I go, what? It's at the Country Star? First of all, that's weird. And I was like, I begged my manager, I go, please, just let me off. BET's here. I want to try and get on stage. I don't know how I'm going to get on stage. I don't have nothing to my credit.
random.
Yeah, so random. I had a fake resume. It said I was at the Comedy Store. I had all these clubs that I performed at. Never performed at any of them. It was such a, the biggest name I ever opened for was Bruce Babyman Baum. You remember
I
him?
know exactly who he is.
and,
Sure.
and Vic Dunlap. Like those were the only 2 guys I ever
like
opened
Vic
for.
Dunlap.
I
He was
love Vic
great.
Dunlap, and I opened for him. So
Yeah.
that was on my resume. So that's all I had. And when has I drove all the way home, put on a suit, and then I came back all sweaty because I was outside all day. I didn't even take a shower. Drove all the way back, went to the Country Star. Line wrapped around this building, man. It was sold out. And when has a security guard ever offered any help for anyone? No one.
No one.
Never.
Ever.
Right? So I walk in with this bullshit resume, and I see the security guard. Big black guy, man. Huge, man. Dreadlocks. And so intimidated. Like, I was so scared to walk up to him because I'm like, oh, this guy's going to say get in the back of the line or buy a ticket, right? And I walk up to him, I go, hey, man, I'm a local comic. I've worked, I open for a lot of people out here. Here's my resume. I just want to go in and maybe do some, like warm up or something for the show tonight. And he looked at it and he goes, let me get the promoter. I go, what?
That's unheard of.
Unheard of. And he leaves the door, right? And walks all the way in, comes back. Yvette Anderson, I still remember her name. Yvette Anderson walks up and she goes, what's your name? I go, Joe Coy. I do a lot of comedy here in town and I'd love to warm up the show. And then she goes, we already have everyone. And I wish I would have known you earlier. I would have done it. But you want to come into the show and just watch it? I go, fuck yes. So she sits me right next to the stage where she was sitting, and she had this big, giant Canon 3-chip digital. It was red, and remember that with the beige and red? It was just huge. And I was like, oh my God, I want that camera. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is legit. Like, this is a real show. And, I've been doing open mics and copy houses. I'm in a real show, and I'm sitting down, and of course the show is late. And of course all the comics are late. Insert stereotype there, right? So she looks at me, she goes, hey, all the comics are late. And the crowd's going crazy. They're getting pissed, right? The show's supposed to be at 8, and it's like
crazy.
8:30, right? And she goes, you want to go up? I go, yes. And can you record it with that camera? And she goes, I promise you I'll get it recorded. And then she sets it up, and then they put me up. I get a standing O, and I walk off stage. And there's this comic right behind Yvette Anderson, and his name is Bo P. He was like a BET legend, right? And he goes, who the fuck this guy? That's literally how he talks. He's from the side. He's like, who the fuck this guy? And she goes, oh, this kid's Joey Loco. He's like, oh, we got to get him on BLT. We got to get him on BLT. And I'm like, oh, shit. Are you serious? We're going to watch it. You're going to get you on BET. And if you think I'm making up this accent, you got to listen to him. He really talks like that. And then the following week, I'm on BET's Comic View.
I thought some guy was going to come up and go, shit, I got to follow him?
It's Rudy Rush again.
God damn it. Why is this kid fucking my sets up
every
night?
Everywhere I go. I still have that on video, too. I still have that set. So
amazing.
It was crazy, man. That's back in the day when people used to raise the roof.
What was your set about then? Was it about your
family?
family?
It's just dumb shit.
No, it's dumb shit.
Yeah, nothing about family.
Nothing
it was all
family,
dumb. Yeah. Just dumb.
You had balls, though.
Yeah,
dude.
that was a ballsy move.
I would have been afraid, I think, if they were like, you want to go on? I'd be like, I'm not ready.
Jamie, especially like the time. Like, like now it's very common. Like there's a lot of interracial type stuff. Like back then it was still kind of like, this is a black show. This is a Latino show. This is the white show. And like, this is back when Def Jam just exploded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone was watching Def Jam. Like, it was new. No one ever seen these guys. Never even seen, all that. Like, just black comedy. Like, you've heard about it, but we never seen it. And, BET was very rare to see because you had to have cable to have it. So, like, it was a ballsy move for me to go on it. Yeah.
That's crazy. I did some black shows, and it went great because I'm a redhead.
Yeah.
So I would get up and be like just a whole string of because redheads are actually a bigger minority than black people are.
Yeah.
And so I would talk about that, and they would just light up, and I'd be like my pale skin or whatever.
Yeah.
I need some mocha.
What year was that?
90s.
90s, dude?
90s.
When did you start?
I didn't even start stand-up till probably late 90s. I did sketch first, so I didn't even really do stand-up till like 35 maybe.
Really?
Yeah, I did a sketch, and I moved here at 30, so yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Bro. I had no balls like that, though, dude. I'd be like, I'll come back next week. let me work on my set some more. I didn't have the confidence. I remember my opening jokes. I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. Is this going to work? Maybe. I don't know.
Dude,
now,
that was crazy times, man.
It's funny now because I'll do like even like little crazy local shows. My friend's doing some bar show. He's like, hey, you want to? I go jump on. They go, wow, man, you're really polished. And you go, well, I've been doing it for a really long time.
Yeah.
They're like, you're really comfortable up there. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm not starting now.
My first show.
Yeah.
It's like meeting with a lawyer and go, wow, you kind of know the law pretty well. It's working out well for you. I went to law school.
I'm a fucking lawyer.
Yeah.
I hate seeing those kind of comments too. Like when you look through. Why is it that you can see 1,000 compliments?
Do you still see bad trolls? Do people
not
troll
trolls, but just like I'll read them.
He reads everything.
But yeah, I do.
Yeah,
but I always read the one where they're like, "Hey, man, keep it up."
You'll make it.
Yeah. Oh, bro, thank you. Thank you. Just about to quit.
You probably, it's like Notting Hill. He meets people and they're like, what do you do for a living? He's like, oh, I'm a comic. And they go, ooh, that's a tough biz.
That's a tough one.
Well, good luck with it.
Yeah.
Let me know if you're doing any local shows. I'd love to come out and check it out.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I do have one. I'm going to be it's in South L.A.
Yeah.
It's called a place called the Forum. Have you been to the Forum room? The faux room?
Actually, it's sold out. So
Wow.
you can't even
Sold
go.
out.
That's great. What are you doing in Notting Hill? I'm buying it. That's what the fuck I'm doing. I'm buying all of it.
And I just bought you. I own you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not cool. I bought all your student debt. I have to go to an art class pretty
man.
soon.
This
what
was
else?
fun.
I can't believe it. You're a rock star. And you're back on the road tomorrow. Dude, I mean, you're just a maniac. World tour. What's the craziest countries you've gone to where you've just been like this?
I think
insane?
Dubai surprised me the most.
Why?
Because I didn't think I was going to be able to do an arena in Dubai. I thought the most.
Isn't it crazy
maybe
when you go to a
theater.
different country and people are like, no, we know exactly who you are?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Australia, mouth dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 10,000. I was just like, huh? Sydney. I just wanted to play the Sydney. I had this.
You did the Sydney Opera House.
I had a bucket list.
Yeah.
And I listed 4 places that I had to do, like either this year or next year. And I sent it to my manager one night. I just woke up and I was like, and I sent it to him. And it was Constitution Hall and Radio City Music Hall and Sydney, the Sydney Opera House and the Forum or Staples, right? And I sent that to him. And there's one more. The Coliseum, which is in Seattle, which is where I saw Eddie. So I want to play that.
Oh.
So and I sent those to him, and he goes, "Let's get it going." So we basically almost knocked all of them out. The two that we haven't knocked out yet is the Coliseum because it's under construction. So once that's done, I will do that. And then the Sydney Opera House is under construction as well. And it only sits 2,200 people, right? That's all it sits.
Really?
I thought it was bigger, right?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. So we ended up playing this place called the Super Theater, right? Which looks like the side of a stadium.
Okay.
Right? It's just massive. There's like 5 balconies, and it goes all the way up to the roof. And it sits like almost 10,000 people. And sold out like
How many shows?
we only did one.
Okay.
Right? But because we had the whole Australia tour.
Uh-huh.
And that would have been literally 5 Sydney Opera Houses.
Well, I was going to say, if you did the Sydney Opera House, you'd end up doing it like the San Jose Improv. Where you're
Yeah.
like, I just did 47 shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's in residence at the Opera
Yeah.
House for the next till 2024.
I gotta play the Sydney Opera House, man. That's and I'm done. I'm done. No, I'm not done.
That's how he wakes up.
That's how
I'm not done.
my
Just with
bucket
a
list is. I want to play golf at Pebble Beach. I want to go grab lunch at Ohana Hawaiian Barbecue today. That's pretty much my bucket list. I don't
National
have that.
chicken.
People don't understand how hard we work, man.
How are you? He keeps using the we term. How hard you work.
Maybe he's speaking about his team. You know.
Because
The
yeah,
Lots.
Well, comics in general, I don't
We
think.
do work
like,
hard.
my wife doesn't even understand. She's like, I mean, she's like, you're just talking for like 20 minutes. I go, yeah,
it's
that's
hard.
That's years
That's
of.
the end
It's
product.
so
You're getting
hard.
paid for all those crazy
Just
coffee
you,
shops.
just you saying Pebble Beach just made me like, oh, that night.
You still playing golf?
No, I'm talking about when I had to perform at Pebble Beach in a
you-
cigar room.
Oh, did you do Pebble Beach? In a
Yeah.
cigar? How was that?
It was the weirdest, most awkward night of my life.
Is that right?
Yeah, I sat in the little dressing room, the locker room,
Uh-huh.
and they had the women in their area, and then they had the men in like some kind of cigar room,
It's
and they
still
had like
old
a
school. The
they
women
had
are in a different area.
and they had like a leather box that looked about the size of this table, maybe smaller, and that's what I walked into the room and stood on that box while they sat and smoked cigars around me. It was the most
That's wild.
for 10 G's,
Was
and
it
it was
corporate
just
gig?
it was a corporate gig,
Corporate gig.
that
Yeah.
I wish I never did. Like it was just like I remember the
it
money
not go
was the
great?
motive. It was great. It was great, but it was just like God. It was all for the money.
Did you get to play Pebble?
Yeah,
You played it, yeah.
yeah. I played it.
How's your golf game?
It sucks. No one should ever play Pebble Beach.
Pebble's hard, man.
Pebble's more than
I've never
hard.
played it.
Oh, you
I've
never
I've
played?
Never played it, no.
Oh, it's the worst.
Because I keep saying it's like you talk about like I'm just gonna go film my special with my golf game. I'm like I got to get my golf game better before I go play Pebble, but I don't play enough to get a good golf game.
Bro,
so apparently I've
don't
never,
even play Pebble Beach until you're good.
until you otherwise, yeah, it's a
It
disaster.
is the worst.
really hard.
It's wind going
Yeah.
every direction
Yeah.
at every hole. I lost every ball. Every ball.
Did you play with like since it was
And
a corporate
all
gig?
the beautiful things that you love about the ball, the trajectory that goes when I hit my 7-iron. It's just so beautiful the way it just starts to glide up. Like no, fuck that. You blade your balls, you cut them. You're playing the wind. You're keeping it.
Just fighting it.
You're fighting the whole time, dude. It's so dumb.
But you're like, this is gorgeous.
Oh, the
And
whole
I'm
time.
cold. I'm
the
really
whole time I
cold.
was taking pictures. Oh, it was freezing cold and I was taking pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. What else? What do you do to relax? Anything?
Nothing.
You work.
I work.
You jackass.
Yeah.
What's your son gonna be when he grows up?
I hope he does what I'm doing.
Is he funny?
Yeah, he's really
Do you take him on the road with you?
Yeah.
Does he do?
He's loving stand up too.
Is he?
Yeah.
Has he done it?
Huh?
He's done
He's never done it, but I was in Singapore and I took him, and he was backstage, and I go, hey man, just walk out there and do like 5, and he goes, are you serious? And just the way he said, are you serious? I was like, wait, are you gonna? I was like, wait, are you thinking about doing it? He's like, I have nothing. I'm like, oh fuck, okay, yeah, that's right.
Did he have any
But in
jokes?
my head, I was like, wait, he's about to go out. I really think he might do it, man.
Hannah's already telling jokes.
Oh, Hannah's funny.
She comes to me, and then sometimes she'll tell a joke that's not really a joke. I should write them down. And she was like, and she goes, and so I didn't laugh. And she's like, why don't you laugh at my jokes? I go, what? No, I laugh when they're funny. And
Yeah.
sometimes I'll try to restructure her joke, and she's like, no, I won't have it. I'm gonna say it this way.
Yeah.
And you laugh. Or you
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
But she's already memorized a bunch of like, why is 7 afraid of 9? 7 afraid of 9? Or I can't even tell the joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9.
That's good.
Yeah, what's a pirate's favorite letter? R.
I love it.
And then she's like,
Yeah, and then you don't give her anything.
No, on those ones I do.
Oh, you do?
I laugh when they're jokes, but sometimes she tells me something and I'm not even sure it's a joke, and
Yeah.
then she goes, "Why didn't you laugh at that?" But other times she says, I mean, she's half my act now. Half my act is just lines she
God,
says
you
now.
and your daughter are so good, man.
She's great,
Just
yeah.
make the TV show already.
Just do it, man.
Just
I
do a
mean, Back
show.
to when we like the last bath I ever took with her. I always kind of covered my junk. I've told this
Yeah.
before, and at some point she was like, "Hey, Daddy, how come you have a tail?" And then, so I was like, all right, well that's a joke. That's in the act somewhere,
Yeah.
and then I had this big babe out of it. Yeah.
Oh my! I forgot about the last time I took a shower with my son. You're right.
Yeah.
That was a
Was it
depressing
couple
day
weeks ago?
for me.
What happened?
I don't know. I
He was
just
like
I
14?
just remember I was like, I think I'm too old to do this, and he was kind of like, I want to take.
Well, now, dude, the whole great thing, the hard thing about kids really is the financial responsibility of the whole thing.
Yeah.
So you seem like you're pretty set. Maybe it's time for some more children.
Yeah. All right, man.
Did you see it? Did you see
Yeah.
the attitude? All of a sudden, there was nothing. He's like, I don't have a joke about that. This
Yeah.
Cut it out.
Yeah.
No snippy snip. You're
No,
still.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, we'll
Just
talk
on
about
that.
that
Yeah.
later.
The one. Yeah.
Hey, what did we learn today?
Man, we learned a lot.
What did we learn with Joe Coy today? Dennis, what did you learn today?
We stay
I
focused.
learned
Joe's really
that
funny. I learned
in
that.
order to have generational wealth, you have to work as hard as Joe Coy.
Ooh, I like
Is there a
that.
way to make money without working that hard? All right, Joe, what did we learn today? One thing.
One thing that we learned today.
The most important thing that we learned today.
Always stay busy. Always work hard, and we do it for our kids. Generational wealth.
Honestly, that's what I love that you've coined the term generational wealth.
Yeah.
All right. Joe Coy, this week's DadLands podcast.
Woo!
Dude, I love you. Thank you so
I love
much
you.
for coming out. I mean, we met years and years ago. I'm going to send you photos from that event. Be sure to troll us, subscribe, share, rate, review. I'm still going to beat you up. I'm going to come do the koi pond, hopefully.
Please.
Yeah, I would
let's
love
go
to.
golfing. I know I say it a lot, but
Are
let's
you still
go do
country
it.
clubbing it?
Yeah.
I won't say the place, but
Yeah.
you are doing it.
Yep.
But you're barely in town.
Barely.
Good.
But I love having
I just
it.
played yesterday with like the dudes from my boys. I played with Kyle and Bunin and the gang.
Really?
Yeah, we play out like once. We try to get out once a week, but we don't make it.
I want to play.
All
you
right.
and I.
I'll
Let's
let you
go
out.
out.
Okay, we'll do. Thank you guys for tuning in. Huge thanks to Joe Coy for coming down and sharing his comedy with us. Google him. Go turn on Netflix. He's everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Coy. We'll see you next time on the DadLands podcast.